Hello, this is Mark from TradeInform.com and welcome to this video on the money flow index trading strategy. Now in this video I'm going to describe the money flow index or MFI. I'm going to look at a trading strategy using the S&P 500 and I'm going to describe the results that I got and show the results of a backtest of this trading strategy. So first things is, what is the money flow index? Well, I've got it here showing on the chart. This is the S&P 500 and at the bottom of the chart we have the MFI. Now the MFI is quite interesting, relatively unusual for technical indicators because it uses volume. And it uses volume in a nice way. If you look at the indicator at the bottom of the chart, it looks fairly similar to other oscillators, and this is because it incorporates volume into a calculation which is quite similar to the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. So what we get is a sort of crossover combination indicator that has volume and uses the significant volume data, but it also puts it into a nice oscillator that ranges between 0 and 100, and we can use it to trigger entries and to take profits. Okay, so the trading strategy that I'm going to look at today is going to use the MFI both to enter and exit trades, and we've also got this red dashed line on the chart here, which is a exponential moving average. Now we're using the EMA as a filter, long trades only above the EMA and short trades only below. I like to use EMAs in quite a lot of my trading strategies as a simple way to define the trend. Okay, so we're using this lower line here on the MFI as an entry trigger. So we have a cross above this lower line and you can see we've got a green arrow, and this trade is actually going to follow all the way up here. So we're opening it in February and it's going to follow all the way up until June, and then we have a profit target which was hit here, and we're actually closing this trade in two parts. We're looking at a slightly more advanced way of managing the trade. The first part of this trade is going to be closed using a profit target, and that profit target is set based on the ATR, the average true range. And the second part, I'm using the MFI. So once we've hit our profit target, we've taken some money off the table, then we're going to look at the MFI, and in this case it closes actually straight away because I'm using the MFI, anything in this red zone here above this upper line, as a signal to close the trade. So we've taken our profit target, we've made a very nice profit here, and the next period, well, we're already in the closing zone, so we're going to close it on the next period. Short trades are going to be done in exactly the same way, just to remind ourselves. And in this case, I'm using two lines for the MFI. These can be refined, but these are the lines that I'm going to talk about in this video today. Right, so the backtest of the trading strategy, I'm going to use a trade-informed backtesting spreadsheet, and there are a variety of these spreadsheets which are available on the Trade Informed website. There is a link on the screen for more information. This particular one, as I was describing earlier, is using a slightly more advanced type of trade management. We're opening the trade or we are replicating the effect of opening the trade in two separate positions, and so we can control them in different ways. We can set different profit targets and different ways of closing each one of these positions. So this is the standard setup for a trade-informed spreadsheet. Over here on the left we have the data open, high, low, close, plus the volume, which is of course necessary to use the MFI. In the middle here, and I'll just open these out, we have the, shift that, we have the, in white here, we have the technical indicators that I'm using for this particular backtest. So we have the first set of columns is the MFI. We're using an EMA, exponential moving average, and the ATR. So it's just 3 technical indicators. Now the calculations for these technical indicators for the MFI came from a spreadsheet that I produced, which is here, and it comes from a ebook that is available in the Amazon Kindle bookstore. And there is information on the screen if you'd like more information about how to calculate a variety of different technical indicators, all in Excel. And the ebook gives explanations and examples of how to use it. So we've got the MFI here, we've got value charts, Ichimoku, Heikin-Ashi, a wide variety of different indicators and chart patterns that can be programmed into Excel. Okay, so back to the backtest spreadsheet. I'll get rid of this again just to hide it, so we don't need this at the moment. So there are the 3 indicators, the MFI, EMA and ATR. Now the bit over here in green and in this reddish colour are the long and the short trades, and this is the actual backtest model. And if I scroll down here, we'll see the different trades being opened and closed and analysed by the spreadsheet. So these are the results. If we look over here, we have the backtest equity graph. We can compare this to, this will be familiar to many people, the S&P 500. Now I've used a backtest between 1984 and the 3rd month of 2015, so we've got quite a lot of data here, and the S&P has obviously had its ups and downs during that period. 1989 crash, was it there? Back in 2002-3 we had the bear market there. We had of course the more recent one in 2008 and 9, and then the more recent recovery since then. So with these ups and downs of the stock market over this period, you can see that this strategy has managed to hold pretty well. It uses long and short trades, considering that the market has mostly gone up during this period. It's inevitable to be expected that it will be easier to make money on the long side. But we have had some significant periods of downturns as well, and the model has managed pretty well during those periods, taking some money from short positions as well. So we've got lots of different things that we can alter here. We can increase the cost of trading. We can see how this affects. We can adjust our profit targets. I'm using a multiple of the ATR, so I can set that from 4 to 6, and I can see how it affects the results. We're also using a stop loss, also based on the ATR, and we're using a trailing stop as well. You can take this on or take it off. The trailing stop is of course designed to lock in profits once the position moves in our favour. I can adjust the length of the EMA from 50 to 200. And we get different results and a different equity graph by adjusting these things. We've got our long entry and our short entry based on the MFI levels. If we go across here and have a look at the results, we've taken a good number of points over this time period. We're showing a good profit factor, which is the gross winning trades divided by losing trades, getting almost up to 3-1 there, which is a decent ratio. So what do we have in terms of profitability? Well, we're showing here somewhere around 70% win percentage, which again is quite decent, depends on your aims, but it's quite decent results. We're invested 38% of the time. This trading strategy is designed to try to pick up good entry points, good value entry points in the direction of the dominant trend. So we've got 38% of the time. The average length of the trade here, 96 and 77. These are quite long trades. We're looking at multi-month trades here. If you've got you would have to have a longer time frame and aspirations, but you can see that over that time we have done pretty well historically. The maximum length of the trade, in fact, lasts for more than a year, 386 trading days, and the minimum length is just 13, but even that is over 2 weeks, and it reflects the fact that we're using, once we're entered into a trade, we're giving it plenty of room to move. Okay, so there were the results. There is a link on the screen if you'd like to see the accompanying article with some more detailed information on it. Please subscribe to this channel if you would like more information. There's already lots of different trading strategies, information about technical indicators on the channel, so do subscribe for more videos and information. And for more information about trading strategies, technical indicators and trading the financial markets, please go to www.tradeinformed.com.